Hello everyone, this is your Ultimate Shotgun Siege Guide by Quark. I was going to upload this video sooner, however I was waiting for the release of patch 2.03 to see if there are any major changes to the BUCKY, and there were none. When Riot eventually does alter the BUCKY with a nerf, or hopefully a buff, I will create another guide after I experiment and use it more. This guide is broken down as seen on screen with timestamps to navigate with ease. Hope this video is helpful and check out twitch.tv/Quarkwy to see these plays live. And as always, thanks for watching. To start off, so why Shotgun Sage? On December 15th, I played Sage on the map Split with my friends since I usually roll fill. I was holding B Heaven and B site, and I bought the Judge and was able to get an ace, which made me realize how effective shotguns can be. Also, I watched First Strike Korea, and seeing Bunny fly in and using the BUCKY gave me inspiration. As I was able to reach Immortal 2 back in Act 1 on my old main account, I wanted to see if I could climb a diamond going shotgun only. I chose Sage as my agent since the name Shotgun Sage was funny to me due to the alliteration, and I wanted to challenge myself with a character that does not have amazing movement abilities that would work well with shotguns such as Raisin Jet. On December 18th, 2020, Shotgun Sage was born. I practiced using the BUCKY in the shooting range to understand the right click and left click potential at a basic level and use them in my unrated games. On December 30th, I climbed to Diamond from Silver 3 and eventually climbed to Immortal on January 11th right before the Act 3 ended. Additional information and stats can be found in my I Climbed to Immortal as Shotgun Sage video, and currently on my main, I try to go shotgun only. However, I don't want to ruin my teammates' games, which is why I use a rifle if they ask and use a classic on the pistol round. Sage is one of 3 Sentinels in Valorant, which are agents designed to provide defensive utility and support the team on offense. Utilizing her Sage walls for maximum battle Sage potential, I recommend watching Grim and Flow Ascending as they have mastered the art of walling. However, for Shotgun Sage, her wall can be used to help with the BUCKY distance since it is 10 meters long. I also use Sage walls to disrupt the enemy, such as when they are planting, which allows me to get a kill.
So lame. I'm gonna go heaven. Oh my god.
It's the bait, dude.
That was so mean.
Sage's other utility is the Slow Orb, which lasts for 7 seconds and is a strong ability that can be used in various ways. When combined with other agents' abilities, such as Raisinade and Brimstone Molly or Alt, the enemies are trapped and will most likely die. Another way I use Slow Orbs is to stop the enemy from pushing, which allows for rotations from my teammates. For example, when the enemy uses their Killjoy ultimate, I use one Slow Orb at the entrance, which will stop any fast push, and then use another Slow Orb as the time gets to about 5 seconds left, since that is when people usually push during an active Killjoy ult. Okay, when 3 seconds left, I throw a slow. Backside. Her signature ability has been nerfed since patch 1.07, where it now only heals for 60 over 5 seconds for allies and 60 health over 10 seconds for herself. For people playing with a Sage that isn't communicating, press the left alt key to see if they have heal up. And finally, her ultimate is to resurrect a dead ally and it costs 7 ult points. You should usually res your teammate when you know it is safe, however you can res your ally and bait them to get a kill.
Remaining.
Oh my god!
You like my egg sunny side up or scrambled? Sunny side up.
Dialing on them.
Yeah, no, I had to do that for the last clip. The BUCKY is a lot more intricate than what most people assume. A general statement is to just right click for enemies far away and left click when enemies are close, however it becomes more complex as you break it down. Using the BUCKY requires decent aim as the right click is very precise and is easily affected by your movement. Before I go into the right click, let's look at the stats and properties of the BUCKY, which explains why this gun can be so good for just 900 credits. The BUCKY is a low penetration semi-automatic shotgun that has a total of 15 rounds and fires at a rate of 1.1 rounds per second. The BUCKY shell has 15 pellets that spread from the barrel of the gun, and each pellet does damage as seen on screen. With the BUCKY alternate fire or right click, the BUCKY shoots a canister which explodes at 7.5 meters. For the damage calculations, here are many combinations of the pellet shots at each distance depending on the health of the opponent. I didn't include the combinations of headshot and leg shot since you would most likely hit the body as well. And I also didn't include all the combinations for the farther distance, since it's actually not that important. Because of the extension with the right click, the effective range of the BUCKY is now from 0 meters to 16 meters. What this means is that the damage calculations I showed is now extended by 8 meters. This is the reason why people consider the BUCKY to be overpowered. However, it requires practice to gauge the distance and correctly choose what type of shot to use. If you're using the BUCKY and don't really know the distance, you can always ping the ground and it will show it. The right click also has the same properties as the left click, which means the bullet spread and damage numbers are consistent, which is why I always recommend aiming at the neck rather than completely at the head, since a decent number of the pellets can miss. When the enemy is closer than 7.5 meters, and you happen to right click them, the canister will hit them and only do 15 damage to the legs, 20 damage to the chest, and 40 to the head. When using either left click or right click, crouching is the best way to condense the bullet spread and maximize the range and kill potential. Standing increases the spread slightly, while running and jumping make the spread significantly worse. Although the spread changes, crouch shooting may not always be the best choice, as the increased bullet spread can be forgiving. For example, there are times when your aim is not pinpoint accurate, which means that a crouching right click could miss the enemy while a jumping or moving right click would have some pellets hit them. In summary, the right click increases the range of the BUCKY by 8 meters and has the best spread when crouching. Mastering the BUCKY requires you to learn how to gauge distances and make quick and correct decisions on what type of click to use. The SHORTY. For just 200 credits, this gun can have an impact on every single round. The SHORTY should be used in very close quarters as there is a large damage drop-off, and with this gun, if you're able to get a pick, you have a chance to win the round and also disrupt the enemy team's economy. Since I am able to buy the BUCKY on the second round, I never have the need to buy the SHORTY. However, on pistol rounds, I did buy SHORTYs all the way up to Diamond, but it isn't that good with Sage since it is very hard to close the distance against enemies. The Judge is an automatic shotgun and is a very powerful weapon due to the ability to take out multiple opponents quickly. The spread is very consistent across all types of movement, but gets worse as you spam. You should try to stop after 3 shots and let the spread reset since the full shot spread gets very bad. Close range distance to medium range distance is the best for the Judge since you can 2-shot burst people. I use the Judge only on defense since it is harder to close the distance against enemies on offense, and I like to constantly change where I play. I get asked a lot on how I play against opponents who are far away. On defense, it is very simple. Wait for the enemy to approach you. If you are retaking a site, use your utility to close the distance, such as slowing off an entrance or angle they would peek from, or use my wall for cover. On offense, I coordinate with my team to push. Playing as Shotgun Sage, I always need someone to play smokes, otherwise I have to use my wall for cover rather than using it offensively. I try not to be the first one in since my heal is very useful, and shotguns are good at holding post play. However, there are many times that I will just go in first as Battle Sage to create space or get a kill. By playing shotgun only, I had to adapt my playstyle and movement. I learned how to jiggle peek and counter stretch better than before, and have what is considered weird movement to others. As I've climbed the ranks, I also started jump peeking less since people have good aim. And in separate videos on my channel, I'll be going over how I approach each map since my playstyle differs for each one. For those annoyed by shotguns, here are some ways on how to counter them. The best agents to counter shotguns are Breach, Sova, Cypher, Phoenix, and Raze. This is because of their utility that can flush out close angles, and their flashes can only be countered by turning away instead of killing them. One of the best gun counters is the Odin, since many shotgun players play in spots that are spammable such as Haven Garage. It is also better to white peek or very tight jiggle peek, since the opponent will miss their shot, which provides you a 1.1 second window till their next shot. Overall, if you know the enemy is using a shotgun, don't play close quarters and instead go to sites or entrances where you can maintain a long distance from the enemy. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was useful to all the people that want to become a Shotgun Sage or wanted to learn how to become better at using the shotgun. I don't recommend going shotgun only, as it can be considered throwing, but it is useful in eco rounds or force buys. And don't forget to subscribe, and also check out my stream at twitch.tv/Quarkwy for more Shotgun Sage and other fantastic content.